you know what I mean? It's kind of a tough one to call. I think it's going to be a good match, though. I mean, Wanderlei Silva coming off his win over Michael Bisping, I think really showed a lot of people that he's been training back with his old trainer, Javier Cordero. I think that's going to be a good fight. I think that's going to be a really good fight. I don't know who to give the edge to, man. I really don't. Main event, baby. Oh, yeah. Brock Lesnar versus Shane Carwin. Okay, a couple things I want to say about this right off the top. Brock Lesnar's had a little friend come along to help him do some training. That little buddy of his, this little friend, is a guy named Randy Couture. Randy Couture's been over kind of doing trade secrets and stuff like that, helping Lesnar train for his fight. Which I thought was kind of interesting and kind of advantageous. I mean, it's kind of gives him a little bit of an advantage, but at the same time, could be a disadvantage. Because I know Randy Couture is real good with game plans, putting together game plans for himself. But I've seen Randy Couture and his fighters on the end of some bad ass whoopings. So I got to wonder, is Randy Couture really good for putting together game plans for other people? I'm kind of questioning that. You know what I mean? I don't think he's nearly a Greg Jackson or anything like Carwin. I was immensely impressed with his win over Frank Mir. Win over Frank Mir, I think was badass. Frank Mir was decimated. It was finished. It just goes to show you, being that a guy that's never been outside of the first round, you better get started. You better get started real quick. I can see Lesnar getting in there and getting started quick because he's a giant guy, but he can move. I mean, he can move. And he's got some good punching power, so I think this is going to be they're going to be throwing bricks, man. I think they're going to be throwing bricks in the beginning of this. And if Brock goes to stand with him, could be a bad idea for Brock to stand with him. Because I damn sure believe that Shane Carwin's got plenty of punching power to put Brock's lights out. Do I know for sure about the other way around? I don't know, man. I mean, Gonzaga put Carwin on Queer Street. I mean, just before Carwin came back and knocked him out, he landed a good flush shot, good right hand right on the chin of Carwin. Carwin his knees were flimsy. Let's put it that way. That's kind of been a concern of mine ever since that happened. I'm like, I don't know, man. This guy's undefeated, but when he gets in with a real, powerhouse, big guy, puncher, fast, athletic, is he going to be able to get out of the way of the freaking ham hocks coming at him? And is he going to be able to get off first? You know what I mean? And get in there. And so, I mean, that's just the things that I'm looking at. You know what I mean? The disadvantages of this guy and the advantages of this guy. I mean, I'm racking my brain with it. Who's got the advantage here? You know what I mean? And I would say as far as getting started first in a puncher's match, Shane Carwin's going to be all over. But as far as a wrestler's game, I would say Brock's going to be all over. I would say Brock's best advantage in this fight is to just take him to the ground and lay on him. Because we've all already seen that happen several times. Majority of his fights are, I mean, from what we've seen, he's only got a record of 4-1, so I can't base it too much, but on that because he doesn't have a whole lot of fights going into this. But and it kind of ticks me off because Brock says, Shane Carwin hasn't fought anybody. I mean, he said that a while back. He said that a while back. Shane Carwin hasn't fought anybody. Well, Shane Carwin just knocked out the guy that you did in like a third of the time. You took him out in towards the end of the second round. He took him out about the middle of the third, or middle of the first. So, and he didn't even have to go on the ground with him. He just stood with him and beat the living shit out of him. So, me personally, I'm gonna, I really don't know who to give the win to. Who's gonna have the upper hand or whatever. I'm in Shane Carwin's corner. I'd like to see him win it. I'd like to see Lesnar maybe learn a lesson, even though at the same time him learning a lesson. I think he's been a lot more humble lately. I think he just because when Shane Carwin won that fight against Frank Mir, I think Brock Lesnar was thrown back. I think Dana was thrown back. I don't know if you guys have that fight on tape or anything. Watch that back and look at the look on Dana's face. I mean, it is like he's frozen. He's got this look on his face like that guy just beat the living tar out of my my next guy in the top 5 here. You know what I mean? He had this this look of shock on his face. And I mean, Brock was, laughing about it, but I think that's covered. Obviously, for holy shit, this guy can easily probably knock my fucking block off. So, and he's got to be cool and collected. He's a freaking champion. He can't go out there looking like, you know what I mean? You guys know what I'm saying. Anyway, all in all, it's gonna be a good night of fights. But I would say this card really isn't stacked as far as fights that I really want to see. Vanderlei still is gonna be a good fight. Gonna be a cool fight. Lytle and Brown, I could take or leave. Really, it doesn't matter to me. Obviously, the main event, Lesnar versus Carwin. I'm dying to see that. I'd pay for just that fight. to see just that fight, I would pay the pay-per-view cost. Which keep that quiet. I don't want to give any ideas. Soteropoulos and Pellegrino, I definitely want to see that. That's going to be a great fight. So, anyway, Shane, Carwin, with Brock Lesnar, it's going to be explosive, man. It's going to be nasty. The only way it's not going to be explosive is if Brock's able to get him on his back and lay on him. I'm really, really hoping that doesn't happen because that's going to make for a lame-ass night. And if he does get him, who knows? Carwin obviously had some shit up his sleeve when he got in there with Mir. So when he gets in here with Brock, he might have a whole different game plan set. So it doesn't matter who wins this match. They're all going to stay right up in there, man. They're all going to stay in the top 3, top 5. You know what I mean? Frank Mir and Brock Lesnar 3 is going to happen. That's inevitable. Whether whoever wins this fight is going to happen. Because Frank Mir is going to work his way back up. You know what I mean? Whether it takes 2, 3 years or whatever, a couple of months, he's going to work his way back up. And everybody wants to see that fight, so they're going to put it on. So if Brock's still the champion, then they're just going to give him a title shot. If Carwin's the title holder, then that's even easier to make Frank Mir, Brock Lesnar 3. Even easier to make that happen. So it's inevitable. That's going to happen. I wouldn't even be surprised down the road, Frank Mir, Shane Carwin happens again. Why not, man? That was a blast, and I'm sure Frank Mir wants to revenge that loss. Wants to get revenge on him. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that. So anyway, man, thanks a lot for sticking around. And coming up on a year here soon, man. It's getting close. June right now. September will be a year, so we've got a couple months. I'll be doing a year celebration vlog, stuff like that. Kind of planning out some cool things for that. So stay tuned. We'll be coming up soon. Oh, another quick note. I am going to get probably in the next month or so, hopefully sooner. I'm going to be starting up on, the account's already there. If you search for me, you'll find me on there. blogtalkradio.com. I plan to start a show on there. These shows here are edited for content because I can't go over 10 minutes. Sucks, but it's the way it is. And it's been fairly easy it's not tough to work around. I can usually get the whole card in less than 10 minutes fairly easily. But on there, I can take my time, take some calls, have some guests, that kind of thing. Hopefully I can get some sweet guests coming in. So anyway, thanks a lot for subbing. Stick with me. I'm moving this up, getting this moving. So thanks a lot. If you haven't subbed yet, sub, man. You're gonna be in for a treat on the year. It's a 1-year show anniversary. So take care, man. Thanks a lot. Sub, comment, all that good stuff, man. I'll see you soon. All right, take care.